World War III. The third woe cometh quickly. Gaza proxy war with the Israelis. This is Revelation chapter 11, verse 14. The second woe is past, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly. The word woe means destruction in the Hebrew. And we've already had 2 world wars. And a third world war will be fought with thermonuclear warheads. And that's why there's so much commotion over there in the Middle East, or dealing with countries concerning Russia, China, Iran, Israel, and United States with the other EU and NATO members. But this article right here is very, very concerning. In a sense, it's also very prophetic. And if I might add, it says Netanyahu's Messianic coalition partners want an all-out regional war. Gaza is just their first step. This is from the website Haaretz, HAARETZ.com. And I'm going to leave the link of this article in the description box. And I'm also going to leave a link of a video I'm going to play as well. I uploaded a couple months ago in the description box as well. It's going to link up with this. The ultimate aim of this game is, quote, purging, unquote, the West Bank of its Palestinian inhabitants. I'm only reading from an article that's been uploaded by a former Prime Minister of Israel. So this is pretty much his opinion or his thoughts. Cleansing, this is what it says, the Temple Mount of his Muslim worshippers and annexing the territories to the state of Israel. This aim will not be achieved without extensive violent conflict. Armageddon. That's written. This is posted February 22nd, 2024. That was written from this website. Now, for those of you who don't know, there was actually a video of a airman. I think he was 25 years old. He said, I will not be complicit with genocide. And he lit himself on fire in front of the Israeli embassy. People, I'm just reiterating what I've seen in the media. And this can't be fake news because this is made it mainstream, kind of widespread. So that goes to show you what's really going on over there. And from what I got from some information, this is all educational. They said I think there was over 1,200 individuals, casualties. Let me put some respect on these people. Casualties that happened in Israel from the attack by Hamas. Ever since then, if I'm not mistaken, I believe they're increasing. Over 30,000 casualties have occurred in Gaza. So it's always some provocation to incite a war. Remember 2001, September 11th, right? 9/11. Think about it. September 11th, 9/11, Twin Towers, 9/11, 11, 2 number ones, look like a tower. Anyways, weapons of mass destruction. Ain't found nothing yet. 20 years in Afghanistan. Ain't just aborted mission, So it's like, it's all about gaining ground, and it's about money. The root of all evil on earth is money. Money is the reason why there's so much evil on this earth, right? And money goes back to people and resources. Slavery, right? Anyhow, so it said Armageddon one. Now, I'm going to play a video really quick to give you a further in-depth understanding of why they said they want to have a cleansing. In this article, this is not just me speculating, all right? So, give me a moment.
Here's the real reason for the war in Israel. This little strip of water between Egypt and Israel is what's called the Suez Canal, and it accounts for about 12% of the world's GDP and about 5 to 10% of the world's oil distribution. Now, in 2022, Egypt made about $8 billion in transit fees from the Suez Canal. Not bad for Egypt, but you notice didn't sit well with the United States, France, the UK, and Israel. The other thing about the Suez Canal is that it's very narrow and it only goes one way. So for 6 hours a day, ships can only go this way, and then for another 6 hours a day, ships can only come back this way, which economically costs time and money. Then there was an incident back in 2021 where a ship actually jammed the Suez Canal, which cost about $10 billion a day. Not only that, but the United States Pentagon said that the Suez Canal traffic impacted U.S. military vessel movement. And you know they can't have that. So what was the alternative? It's called the Ben Gurion Canal Project, which plans to be made cutting through Israel as an alternative route to the Suez Canal, and also will be wider and deeper than the Suez Canal, which is important because the only way that trade can get from Asia to Western Europe is if it cuts through the Suez Canal. Otherwise, they would have to go all the way around Africa to get to this side of Europe. Now, guess where this Ben Gurion Canal Project is being built through? That's right, Gaza. I'm no conspiracy theorist, but you do the math.
So you heard that, right? So pretty much, listen to that video. The Ben Gurion Canal. So once again, they need a reason to invade Pakistan, Afghanistan, Iraq, Sudan, not Sudan, the Sudanese, Egypt, Libya, Yemen, right? And it was all because of, chemical warfare against their own people, yada, yada, yada. Well, Sudan and Libya are in a worse state now prior to them executing Gaddafi and Saddam Hussein, taking them out. But the point of the matter, me bringing that video out, was that the Ben Gurion Canal is the world's major international importing and exporting goods. You heard what he said. He said, in order for you to get trade from Asia to Western Europe, you will have to go down at the bottom of the Horn of Africa, or you can go through that canal. But what happened? I think he said in 2020 there was an incident and it was blocked, and billions of dollars were lost today, and that also hindered the American military, and they can't have that. So their new plan is to build their own canal, which will be wider than the Suez, but it has to go through none other than Gaza. Why am I bringing this out? This is all biblical prophecy. Remember that word Armageddon that was in that article? Let me go back. Remember this word Armageddon down here? This word Armageddon. Well, this word right here is in the Bible. And we're going to read it. Now, this is Revelation chapter 16, verse 16 through 21. And I heard a great voice out of the temple saying to the seven angels. Revelation chapter 16, verse 1 and verse 16 through 21. Verse 1, and I heard a great voice out of the temple saying to the seven angels, go your ways and pour out the vials of the wrath of God upon the earth. The wrath of God upon the earth. Verse 16, and he gathered them together to a place called in the Hebrew tongue Armageddon. This is in the book of Revelation. So I went into the Hebrew context of Armageddon. Okay, get out of the way. I forget that. And the origin is Hara Magadwan. And the prefix, the root words there, Harar, which means hill, country, or mount. When you go down here, it says a mountain or ranges of hills. And what's synonymous with hills? Because the Bible's in parabolic talk. Countries. Armageddon will be the gathering of the nations, the countries down in what The Valley of Jehoshaphat, YAHAWASHI. The Bible uses ancient cities and ancient terminology to determine things that are going to happen today. And the hottest spot right now, the hottest spot concerning war right now is right now in Israel, the Holy Land, right? So it's Harar, and then my God one goes into place of crowds, which is synonymous with what? The countries are going to be gathered there. Because remember, they keep saying Hamas and Hezbollah are actually from Iran. And there the attacks coming from. Once again, I love John Mann music. He said when they control the information, oh, they can bend it all they want. So while we're waiting, right. So why you waiting on the world to change? Only change that comes from YAHAWASHI. So they can say Iran did this, Iran did that. It's like it's kind of like somebody constantly saying that you're doing something that you're not. And no matter how much you try to refute it or try to explain it or to justify that they're defaming you, they're gonna just still stick with it. They're gainsayers. They're provocateurs. They're gaslighting. Yeah. So Armageddon one means a range of mountains or a range of hills that's gathered, or in other words, it's a gathering of the nations. All right, going back to Hebrew prophecy. So let's go back to Revelation chapter 16. Not Hebrew, just going back to biblical prophecy. I'm sorry, Revelation chapter 16. Verse 17, and the seventh angel poured out his vial into the air, and there came a great voice out of the temple of heaven from the throne, saying, It is done. And there were voices and thunders of lightnings, and there was a great earthquake, such as was not since men were upon the earth, so mighty an earthquake and so great. And the great city was divided into 3 parts, and the cities of the nations fell. And great Babylon came in remembrance before God to give unto her the cup of the wine of the fierceness of his wrath. So the Armageddon one's talking about America. I'm telling you. In the Bible, when it says the least of the flock shall draw them out, what's the least of the flock of Basra? The least of the flock of Basra is over there in the Holy Land. Now, Basra goes back to a certain city where they kept folds of sheep in the land of Edom. So, when it says that about Babylon and the fierceness of the great wrath, it's talking about America over here too. America is the midst of her Babylon. The least of the flock spoken of is those over there in the Middle East. All right, over there in our land. And that's what the world's waiting for. The world's waiting for America to try to invade Iran. Because remember, they keep saying Hamas and Hezbollah, right? It's called proxy wars. Proxy is close proximity. I don't have to be in your land to fight against you, but I can use neighboring gangs or neighboring states or neighboring countries around you to try to infiltrate you or to provoke you, i.e., Ukraine being a proxy or being a puppet for the United States to try to provoke Russia, which is not turning out so well for the United States and Ukraine because now most of the money and aid is going to Israel. See how this works, people? The Lord is working every day, whether you're sleeping. So anyways, going back, Revelation chapter 16, verse 20. And every island fled away, and the mountains were not found. And there fell upon men a great hail out of heaven, every stone about the weight of a talent. And men blasphemed God because of the plague of the hail, for the plague thereof was exceeding great. And I speak as a man, I believe that plague to be the what they call it, fire and brimstone, the thermonuclear warheads, because that plague, go to Zechariah the 14th chapter, like the 12th verse on down. It said, this shall be the plague that shall be set upon the earth that fought against Jerusalem. The flesh shall consume away while they stand upon their feet, the tongues in their mouth, the eyes in their socket, or the eyes in their holes. Sarah Connor and Terminator 2, man. And yeah, it's redundant, but prophecy is going to be fulfilled. Nothing shall be taken. Not one jot or one tittle in the law shall be taken away. In no wise shall not come to pass. How about that? I'll run to that. But anyhow, let's go back to and explore. Boom. So Ehud Olmert, once again, I want to make sure I get this right. He pretty much would be like the author of this article right here. Get out of here. He would be like the author of this article. Oh boy, this is what happened with you. There you go. Ehud Olmert, and then when I go over to his quote unquote somewhat Wikipedia, it says Ehud Olmert is an Israeli politician and lawyer. He served as the 12th prime minister of Israel. So when they're talking about by violence, that's what do you think their motto is? I'm reading the articles that your ex prime minister has uploaded into an article. Okay, so I'm not just fishing to be anti whatever because I'm from SHAM. I'm an Israelite, but you know what I mean. What is Israel's Ben Gurion Canal plan and why Gaza matters? Right? So I'm telling you, it's the reason why Gaza matters. Going back, it says this is uploaded or published, I should say, November 17, 2023. As Israel intensifies its Gaza onslaught, focus turned to the controversial Ben Gurion Canal project, originally proposed in the 1960s as an alternative to the Suez Canal. So this been going back, way back during the time of post the State of Israel. Or after the Balfour Declaration. Yeah, after the Balfour Declaration. Right? Come on now, like the elder apostle elder apostle Barman says it, but we all, all the elders go by this too. In order for you to know the mystery, you must know the history. You dig? I put the dig on that, so Salaki, but you know what I mean, right? So going back to oh my God, one meaning like a crowded place, a crowded range of hills or mountains, meaning that the Lord gathering all the nations together. I'm gonna close out with Joel. This is the book of Joel, chapter 3, verse 1 through 2. For behold, in those days and in that time, when I shall bring again the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem, I will also gather all nations and will bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat. It will plead with them, therefore, my people and for my heritage Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations and parted my land. That's heavy. The Lord said we've been scattered among the nations. How? Oh, the transatlantic slave trade. How is the land parted? Oh, you have the small hats on the east side of the West Bank, and you got the Palestinians living on the other side. That's how you part the land. You can't make this up, people. Right? But nonetheless, though, with that being said, pray y'all will edify and fed. Stay in the spirit, don't fear it, just endure it. Ask for forgiveness, pray without ceasing. Stay humble, remain diligent. Kwama Sha'Allah, Moflababal, Shalom.